Hi, my name is Fiona and this is my critical reflection for ETP 401 Reflective Compendium. Through completing my compendium, I have reflected and developed upon my own pedagogy in regards to assessments. As a pre-service teacher, I aim to build a safe and motivating environment which will nourish, engage and challenge students to further develop themselves. In order for this type of classroom to be implemented, assessment needs to be done effectively. Throughout my compendium, I discuss different elements of assessment and how it varies in different environments. In particular, I personally favour the nature and structure of assessments in my professional experience school, as their assessment document for the whole school outlines specific dates for specific assessments, as well as the intentions and purposes of each of those assessments. These assessments are formed and generated around standards, which for my professional experience school is the Victorian curriculum as of this year. These standards indicate the intended learning for each year level, and the purpose of each of these assessments will provide either a diagnostic, formative or summative data result. However, in saying that, some assessments are considered informal or formal assessments, which then in turn affects the type of feedback that is provided to students. Hargrave's 2013 states, without the learner's perspective, the crucially important affective and interactional aspects of learners' responses to feedback are likely to be missing. I believe that it is crucial to provide students feedback on the work that they have done. I also know that classrooms are a very busy and hectic environment, and therefore sometimes the time to provide feedback is not found. I have reflected on one of my previous professional experience rounds, and I remember my mentor teacher telling me that she would correct every single one of her students' work, but she would not provide feedback because there was no time given to her in their busy curriculum. Personally, I would provide feedback on as many work as I could, so if I was correcting work with a student beside me, I could tell them on the spot and give them small strategies during that small time frame. However, if it was a formal assessment, then a proper sit down and dot pointed information can be provided to students and collaborate with them. In regards to national assessments, as a pre-service teacher, I take appreciation in its intention purpose, but I also see how it has changed the education system. Lingard 2016 states, the census nature of the NAPLAN data enables monitoring and comparisons of the performance of individual students, teachers and schools, which extends its purposes well beyond those of sample testing programs that focus on taking the temperature of systems at a moment in time. National standardized tests that assess students with no individuality can cause a lot of stress upon individuals who believe they are not at standard. This has been evident through my first year of experience rounds. At times, it is also the highly academic students that refuse to take the test due to the stress that has been caused upon them. They believe that the results of these tests will determine whether they are smart or not smart, and at that time it just does not feel right for them to know this kind of information. Personally, I would tell my students that tests are generated in order for no one to get everything right, and that tests are made for us to know what you don't know so that we can help you improve on your learning. I am very keen to see how a NAPLAN testing will pan out this year, as this is the first year that they are changing to online testing. So the purpose of changing it to online testing as opposed to pen and paper is so the turnover of the results from NAPLAN or ACARA can be provided to schools at an earlier rate. The question here though is, what is considered early in the perspective of NAPLAN to provide schools the results and use it for formative purposes? Overall, I believe assessments are a crucial part not only in student learning but also teacher building. When I say teacher building, I am referring to our pedagogy as teachers and how we perceive education should be conducted, including the activities that we are choosing to motivate and engage our students. The assessments we use should have a clear and purposeful intention. For example, how strong is our students' build on number sense, or what comprehension strategies they would need to improve on. Feedback should be provided almost immediately in order for students to self-assess and reflect on their work and collaborate with the teacher as to what strategies they can use to further challenge and improve on themselves.